What if I told you your identity, your habits, and many daily choices aren't to you? They reprograms running in your subconscious. Today, I'll walk you through a real, science-informed system to reprogram those programs step by step and give you a 30-day starter plan you can use tonight. Hi, I'm from Mr. Brain. Mystery? This video covers why the subconscious is powerful, how habits form, 9 proven methods to rewrite automatic behaviors, a simple 30-day microplan, and how to track real progress. No practical steps you can do today. Quick primer. Your subconscious stores learned patterns, physical skills like driving, emotional reactions like fear of public speaking, and identity scripts like I'm not creative. It runs most of your daily actions, so your conscious mind can focus on novel problems. This is efficient, but it means much of who you are is shaped by past repetition, not present choice. For example, you don't choose to breathe, you don't need to. Similarly, many you behaviors are automatic. Habits form through repetition and reward. Cue gives routine, gives reward. The more often the loop runs, the stronger the neural pathway. Over time, actions move from effortful control in the prefrontal cortex into efficient circuits in the basal ganglia, meaning less conscious energy is required. For example, if you check your phone when bored, which is the cue, scroll for 10 minutes, the routine, and feel relief or amusement, the reward that loop strengthens. After many repeats, scrolling becomes automatic. As a practical point, to change a habit, we must either change the cue, change the routine, or change the reward, ideally all 3. Here are 9 practical research-backed methods. I'll explain each, give examples, and show exactly how to use them. Method 1 is awareness and tracking. Track your current behavior for 3 to 7 days. Awareness is the first change. Write down the cue, the behavior, and the reward. Awareness weakens autopilot. For example, use a simple note app. Cue is 3 p.m. boredom, which leads to the routine of a snack, and the reward is a sugar hit. Method 2, interrupt the loop. Introduce friction. To stop automatic actions, add a small barrier. Put your phone in another room. Require a 60-second delay before a purchase, or change your default setting. Friction forces conscious selection. For example, turn off one-click buying. Make unhealthy snacks slightly harder to reach. Method 3, tiny habit replacement. Make the new routine tiny so success is guaranteed. Instead of run 5,000, do put on running shoes and walk for 1 minute. Tiny wins compound and build identity. For example, if the cue is your morning coffee, a tiny replacement would be 30 seconds of deep breathing before the first sip. Method 4 is environment design. Design your surroundings. The environment triggers roughly 70% of habit cues. Remove temptations. Place cues for desired behaviors in plain sight. For example, move fruits to the countertop. Put your journal next to the kettle. Method 5, implementation intentions, or if-then plans. Use precise plans. If X happens, then I will do Y. Implementation intentions automate conscious choices into prepared responses. For example, if I feel stressed at 3 p.m., then I will do a 2-minute breathing exercise. Method 6 is habit stacking. Stack a new small habit onto an existing one. This uses an established cue to trigger a new routine. For example, after I brush my teeth, which is an existing habit, I will write 1 sentence in my journal, a new habit. Method 7, emotional reframing and anchoring. Subconscious learning is emotional. Attach a positive emotional anchor to a new habit. Use vivid visualization and sensory details so the new action feels rewarding emotionally, not just logically. For example, before sleep, imagine the pride and calm you feel after a short workout. Feel it in your body, anchor it to the action. Method 8, repetition plus spaced practice. Repetition in spaced intervals cements neural changes. Review new behaviors repeatedly over days, then weeks. Use reminders and calendar slots. For example, and Method 9, identity-based habits. Shift your identity language. Stop saying, I'm trying to, and start saying, I am. The subconscious loves identity descriptors. Behaviors that match your identity feel normal and require less effort. For example, instead of I'm trying to read more, say I'm a reader and read 1 page each night. Sleep is a powerful window for subconscious learning. visualization before sleep, review of the day, and setting an intention primes overnight consolidation. A practical routine would be, for 2 minutes, write one tiny win and one action for tomorrow. Then, for 2 minutes, do a visual rehearsal. Imagine doing the action with sensory detail. Finally, take 30 to 60 seconds for a calm breathing exercise. The reason this works is that during sleep, the brain consolidates memories. Priming increases the chance the new routine strengthens. Sometimes subconscious patterns are rooted in past trauma or strong emotion. If a habit or belief resists change, emotional processing may be required. Methods include journaling, naming the emotion, cognitive reappraisal, or working with a therapist for deeper patterns. This is not therapy. If you have severe trauma, seek a licensed professional. But for everyday scripts, journaling and reframing are powerful. Here's a practical journaling prompt. When I feel this emotion, I usually do this habit. I would like to instead do this tiny alternative. Repeat this nightly for a week. Use tools to automate good choices: calendar blocks, app reminders, habit trackers, auto savings for finances, website blockers for focus, and sleep trackers. For example, with a habit tracker, you can tick every completion, which builds streaks. You can also use a Pomodoro timer for focused practice, or use auto transfer savings to make financial habits the default. Here's a practical, concrete 30-day plan to reprogram a single habit. Pick one small target: reading, walking, reducing sugar, or meditating. For week 1, it's all about awareness and a tiny start. On days 1 to 3, track your current behavior: the cue, routine, and reward. Write it down. On days 4 to 7, introduce a tiny alternative: just 1 minute immediately after the cue. Use an implementation intention. For week 2, repeat and anchor. Repeat the tiny alternative daily and add a positive emotional anchor by visualizing the reward after the action. Add a habit stack. Attach it to your morning or evening routine. Week 3 is about increasing consistency. Slightly increase the routine if you're comfortable, maybe from 1 minute to 3 minutes. Use a habit tracker and celebrate your small wins. And week 4 is for solidifying in context change. Keep the routine consistent and change environment triggers to favor the new habit. On day 30, reflect. Compare day 1 to day 30 and journal 3 changes you've noticed. This microplan is intentionally small. It creates momentum. After 30 days, keep building, stacking another habit or lengthening the routine. Measure practice, not mood. Track frequency, not perfection. If you miss a day, don't quit. Use the 1 miss rule. Here are some troubleshooting tips. If you slip often, reduce the habit to an even smaller unit. If you feel bored, vary the context or reward. If you hit resistance, review emotional triggers and use journaling or social accountability. Here's a quick real example. Sarah wanted to stop midnight snacking. She tracked her cues for 3 days and discovered it was boredom after late shows. She introduced a tiny replacement, herbal tea, plus 60 seconds of reading. She tracked this daily, anchored it with the calming feeling, and by week 3, her snacks had reduced by 80%. Small steps repeated changed her pattern. To recap: 1. Awareness. 2. Interrupt. 3. Tiny replacement. 4. Environment design. 5. If-then plans. 6. Habit stacking. 7. Emotional anchoring. 8. Spaced repetition. And 9. Identity language. Use the 30-day plan and measure your progress by frequency. If you're ready to try this, comment Reprogram and I'll pin the 30-day microplan download. If you want to follow up Deep Dive, a 12-week program with templates and tracking sheets, type 12WEEKS, like, subscribe, and share this with one friend who wants change. Your subconscious runs on repetition today. Start repeating better.